All right, guys, so today we're going to Lowe's to get wood to build the bed frame. So we got the topper on the truck yesterday, and I just drew up some sketches, took some measurements of the truck bed, and we're gonna go ahead and get wood and get started on that. So it'll be a simple design. I'll show you what I'm doing. I've watched a few videos now, and it's a very similar setup to what everyone else is doing in their truck beds, with the flat bed frame and then 2 slide out drawers underneath, but I want to get started on the frame today, so let's head to Lowe's. Got some 2x4s. All right, this is what we're going to use for the slats. I already got plywood and 2x4s. Well, I think that's everything, so we'll see what this total comes to. Okay, back from Lowe's with the lumber. It's a little messy from driving around, but 2 1/4-inch thick pieces of plywood, 5 1x6s will be the slats that the plywood sits on, a 1x10 by 8 feet, those are 6 feet. The 1x10 is going to slide in the middle to be the middle support, and then I got 2 2x4s, which are going to be the frame on the end, and then a little guy for like scrap or maybe to build the legs, support legs over here. So let's see how I can get this set up and get started. All right, well, we just got back from Lowe's with the lumber. I'm gonna get it out of the truck. We're gonna do our cutting here. It's not ideal, but there's not a lot of outlets out here. So I'm gonna run an extension cord. I'm just gonna try to do this with my circular saw. I should be able to do it. The plywood might get a little tricky. You know, I've really only built a couple of small pieces of furniture and, you know, deck chairs and things, so this isn't that complicated. We should be able to get it, but I'm just going to go ahead and get started and start measuring and cutting. So I measured in the back of the truck. I want to do 74 inches on the board. This again is going to be for the frames on the sides. I think I could probably do 75, 76 back there, but the way the bed is molded, as you start to get to the tailgate, it kind of flares out a little bit, so I'm trying to stop short of that. So 74 it is. So we're going to do the slats next on the 1x6s. I was thinking 65, but that's looking pretty close. So I'm going to do 64 3/4. Last one of these. All right, so let's go over to the truck, take this wood over there, and show you what I'm thinking. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. So see, I could have probably got another inch or so out of here before we hit the molded piece for the tailgate, but those were 74. Right now I've got them laid on the wheel well. I'm gonna build a support here and then maybe around the wheel well as well. So I need to measure, and I'm not sure I want it to sit directly on the wheel well like that. I might bring it up off it. So let me build a couple of these, and then we can throw the slats on and we should be in pretty good shape. All right, so it's currently sitting at 8 inches. Yeah, it's basically right at 8. 8.5. These are the scraps from the frame pieces. They're 22. So I only need 17. 8.5. Match those up. That might be slightly short. All right, well, there's 4. So let's do the front and the back just to get it in place, and I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, so I cut some of the leg supports there. 8.5 is roughly what I was going for, but you can see that's essentially what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna pre-drill these a little bit. Do 1, 2, 3, 4 to start. I will eventually put something here. These are just the 2x4 scraps off of that, and then I bought a smaller board, a 2x3, and that's what I'll just use to fill this piece right here so that we have support on the end. But it's nice and flat, so I think it's gonna just have to live right there. All right, gotta get used to that every time. Never had anything overhead, so our back just took one there. All right, so that's basically what we're working with. I'm gonna go ahead and set these slats on. Whoa, we need to take off about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, quarter brick, whole brick. Hey! All right, so we shaved them down about a 1/2 inch, give or take. I guess I don't really mind if they're not perfect. So I wanted this to be right on the very end, and all the other ones fit pretty well, but you can see that ridge there. Hey, look at that. Last one's in. There you go. I didn't film it, don't really need to. I just laid those out evenly. What I thought was even, I didn't measure. And then I just went through and pre-drilled each and then put 2 screws in. So next is the 1x10. On these grooves, this one right in the middle, I mean, it's perfect. I can rearrange these slats again to get them how I want them, but it's a little, ooh, it is about a 1/2 inch short. Okay, so the 1x10 is in. It sits perfect on that little ridge. And then I just got in there and sat on it, and that pushed my boards together. And then I pre-drilled and drilled for this one. And then I did take a little bit more time to make sure that was pretty center so that I don't have a screw coming out the freaking side or something. So far it looks pretty good, but I think I've just now spent a couple hours building a glorified pallet. All right, so we're gonna try the plywood next. I think I'm gonna lay one in there and just measure it. And I wanna do like 1/2 a sheet and 1/2 a sheet. Okay, that was a long cut. A lot of sawdust in the face. Manageable piece of wood. Let's go see if it fits. I'm gonna do the same process again and not film that, but I'm gonna cut basically the same thing. Okay, so the final piece of the frame is we just went ahead and cut 8.5 inches on the 2x3 to just secure it on the end. So now we're gonna build the drawers underneath. All right, so we're using a 1x6 for the side of the drawer. I just measured it, cut it 74 inches. So I cut 2. Now I'm gonna rip some plywood, that big guy, to fit the dimensions of the drawer bottom. So after a little more measuring, my plywood's 48 inches. I said I wanted to do the drawers 23.5 or so. So I'm just gonna rip this plywood right down the middle. So I have two 24-inch bottom shelves, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so there it is. Ended up being 74 by 24. So now I'll build the sides. So for the side of the drawers, I'm gonna use my Craig jig to make pocket holes along the side of the 1x6. So that way I'm just not like drilling square. I want to drill at an angle. All right, the other side. Ha, 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 ha. That's pretty awesome, off the edge and everything. It's woodworking at its motherfucking. Bye. Hack job McGee. All right, drawer done, I think. Let's clean up a little bit. There it is. Drawer finished. So now we will just do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, so there you go. Both drawers are in. I lined up the plywood and just secured it with a screw so it won't rattle around. Let's throw the mattress in there and see what we're working with. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm thinking. I threw the mattress in there. I did get a waterproof mattress cover for my bedwetting issues, but we'll cover that in another episode. I think it will really protect the mattress, especially with the dogs jumping in and out. And then right now I'll cover that a little more officially. I just bought some cheapo like doormats. So now it's time to get some sheets on the bed and sleeping bag, cover the windows, maybe get some privacy screening, and then I want to see what else I can do to like hang maybe some cargo netting, and so I can stuff things down in there for more storage. But let's fill it up and see how it goes. All right, guys, well, that's pretty much it for the first build of the truck. Again, we did the frame. We added 2 drawers, threw down some plywood, threw a mattress in there, and then got some doormats to just kind of make it look a little homier in there. But I'm gonna outfit it a little bit more, get some sheets on the bed, and hopefully get this thing outside in the woods pretty soon. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and stay tuned for more.